Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. I don't usually start my videos like this, but this time I have to watch this clip and pay attention to what Juggernaut says.
One of your diamonds is in their possession. Someone you know, friends. With special voice. Which will do what's necessary when time comes.
Aside from the part about the diamond, obviously referring to the infected Titan TV man, he also mentions someone G-Man knows. And then, an interview drops where Mr. Boom is asked, "Do you want to say anything about G-Man and his connection to the upcoming episode season?" To which he replies, "G-Man and someone connected to him will be central figures in some of the upcoming episodes in the 80s. If we take this answer out of context and look at it in isolation, we might assume that this someone is Juggernaut. But considering the line I mentioned earlier, it's pretty clear that we're talking about a new character. This is further confirmed by the fact that if it was Juggernaut, Boom would have just said it outright. So, from this, we can conclude two things. First, G-Man is going to be a central figure in Season 27. Second, the upcoming episodes will revolve around this new character because, according to Juggernaut, they're on a special assignment, and G-Man will have to make a decision when the time comes. I suspect that when Juggernaut says, "do what needs to be done," he doesn't just mean that G-Man won't have the strength or a chance to win, but rather that he might hesitate to fight this character. This could mean that just like Juggernaut in the past, this person was once important to G-Man. They had a close friendship or even a family connection. Personally, I lean towards the second option, and the next answer actually gives us indirect confirmation of that. The question was, does G-Man have any connection to someone from Astro, like family? And Boom replied with a 100% emoji. That most likely means that the character appearing alongside G-Man in future episodes is actually a relative. If it turns out to be his son, or maybe even his father, that would be a crazy plot twist. And you know what else would be a crazy plot twist? If Simp Cameraman accidentally ran into Maid Camerawoman. I'd love to see how he'd react. I'm sure he wouldn't stay indifferent, at the very least. If you want a scene like that to happen, let's get this video to 10,000 likes. Maybe Mr. Boom will hear us out. Oh, and Boom, if you're watching this right now, drop a comment and let us know what you think about these two meeting. And any chance you could finally give us Camerawoman's phone number, asking for a friend again? Ahem. Anyway, here we go. Another question adds more clarity to our theory, and based on it, the character Juggernaut mentioned in Season 25 seems to be the same one G-Man referred to as the child that suffers. That means Juggernaut's words about whether G-Man will be able to do what needs to be done are likely about killing his own son. If that's really the case, we can expect the upcoming episodes to focus on a father-son conflict, which might even lead to a tragic ending for one of them. If so, we're in for some intense moments with G-Man in the next few episodes. For now, let's talk about the latest news on the Skibidi Toilet movie. As Boom himself said, Michael Bay is really good. If you saw what I saw, he's absolutely hyped. And if that's the case, we're in for an amazing movie that every fan will love. So, let's wait for it with excitement. Also, one of my Russian viewers pointed out a resemblance between Dave and the actor Yura Borisov, who was recently nominated for an Oscar. Honestly, I kind of agree. Dave does look like Yura Borisov, just with hair. What do you guys think? I don't know if it was intentional or just a coincidence, but if it was intentional, it'd be cool to see Borisov play Dave in the movie. Remember in Season 25 when G-Toilet tried to convince Juggernaut to switch sides by calling out the discrimination and oppression within their race? Well, Steak asked whether that oppression could lead to a betrayal within their ranks. Boom's response? I think it's likely. Basically, that's a yes. But when exactly it'll happen is still unclear. That was followed by another great question about G-Man's relationship with Astro UFO. And Boom's answer was, they hate each other with passion. Something happened in the Astro world, and it will be revealed in one of the episodes. That something is the key to everything. This explains why UFO reacted so strongly when Juggernaut called G-Man a commander. These two have been enemies for a long time, and their hatred runs deep. I suspect the reason for their rivalry is that G-Man somehow took UFO's place as commander, which deeply offended him. Maybe it was a struggle for recognition within the Empire, and G-Man came out on top, which fueled UFO's anger and his desire for revenge. When G-Man eventually betrayed his own race, UFO finally got the chance to take over as commander and lead an army to conquer other worlds. That also explains why UFO was assigned to kill G-Man and destroy Earth. Most likely, we'll see their confrontation in episode 79, which should expand on the events of episode 60, just as Boom mentioned in an interview. Plus, it'll reveal a lot more about the Astro Toilet's world. By the way, speaking of the entire Astro race, Steak asked a really interesting question about the power structure of the Astro Toilets. More specifically, he asked, would you say the Astros function more like a monarchy? What style of government fits them best? The response he got was totalitarianism, monarchy, something you'd expect from a repressive and aggressive empire. So, Boom basically hinted that the Astros don't fully belong to either system. That got me thinking. I decided to gather everything we know and try to figure out what kind of political structure the Astro Empire actually follows. Let's break it down. Power is concentrated in the hands of a single leader or a group of high-ranking commanders. All Astro Toilets follow strict military discipline. Decisions are made based on strategic planning and military objectives. Individuality doesn't exist. Astros function as a single, unified machine. The entire government is run by military structures. Advanced technology is used for surveillance, command, and control over the troops. The army is equipped with cutting-edge weaponry, high levels of mechanization and automation. The main focus is on expansion and territory control through brute force. The Empire wages wars of conquest, either destroying or enslaving enemies. Diplomacy is non-existent. It's all about military domination. They rely on mobile units and strike teams for swift, decisive attacks. All major decisions are made based on military efficiency and technological advancements. Resources are centrally controlled. Everything serves the needs of the army. Cybernetics and mechanization play a key role in maintaining power. There might be an ideology of astro-technological supremacy. Enemies are seen as inferior life forms. War is framed as a necessity to ensure their civilization's dominance. From all this, we can assume that their empire is a centralized state where power belongs to a military elite, and technology is the backbone of governance and warfare. This structure closely resembles a military dictatorship. So, the Astro Toilet Empire is essentially a military tech dictatorship, a regime built on militarism, total control, and technological superiority. They don't negotiate, they don't recognize democracy, and they operate on a submit or be destroyed principle, just like we see in the series. Now, sticking with the topic of Astro hierarchy, we've already seen that the spikes on their helmets indicate their rank. We know that commanders have 5 spikes, elite soldiers have 3, others have 1 or 2, and some don't have any at all. But then there are those who don't have spikes at all. They have halos instead. So Steak asked, do the halos on the Duchess and the Carrier have any significance in the hierarchy? Boom's answer was, yes. It's like a royal designation. It doesn't necessarily mean they're stronger. This suggests that these units hold a higher status than others, but as we've seen, they still answer to the commanders. Most likely, the ones with halos are closely tied to the Duchess, forming a special group under her command. And since she follows UFO's orders, they probably obey him as well. But I think this still represents a specific position in the hierarchy, somewhere between regular troops and commanders. Now, let me explain today's thumbnail. This time, it's pretty straightforward. Since the 80s episodes will focus on G-Man and his relationship with his son, the lead-up to episode 80 will likely revolve around the Speaker Men, especially Titan Speaker Man. I think it's too early to expect Titan Cameraman, but Boom will probably want to remind the audience about him from time to time. And the best way to do that is through the story, showing that characters still remember him, and even more than that, are actively searching for him. So, we decided to illustrate that with this scene, where the Watchman of Doom uses a special device to scan Titan Cameraman's severed claw, hoping it will lead to something useful in finding him. Subscribe if you enjoyed this and don't want to miss the next videos. See you soon.